For 80 long years, the Low Countries fought for freedom, faith, and identity. This is the story of the 80 Years' War, a conflict that changed the course of European history. In the 16th century, the Low Countries, comprising 17 provinces that today include Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands, were ruled by the Spanish crown under King Philip II. The region became part of Spain when King Charles V inherited it through his paternal grandmother, Mary of Burgundy, and later passed it to his son, Philip II. The region was a hub of commerce and culture, yet tensions brewed beneath the surface. Philip's harsh governance, fueled by heavy taxation and religious persecution, alienated the Dutch population, who yearned for greater autonomy. In 1566, this unrest erupted into what is now called the iconoclasm. Protestant reformers, angered by Catholic practices and the wealth of the Church, destroyed religious imagery in churches across the Netherlands. This wave of destruction shocked the Spanish crown and marked the beginning of open rebellion. Philip responded with force, sending the Duke of Alba to suppress dissent. The Duke established in 1567 a tribunal aimed at suppressing dissent and prosecuting those involved in the Dutch revolt. Known by its nickname, the Council of Blood, it issued thousands of executions and intensified resistance to Spanish rule. The 80 Years' War began in 1568, led by William of Orange, also known as William the Silent. William, initially a loyal servant of the Spanish crown, became the face of resistance against Spanish oppression. Despite early defeats, his efforts gained momentum when the Sea Beggars, a group of rebel privateers, captured the port of Brielle in 1572. This victory inspired uprisings across the northern provinces. William envisioned a united front, rallying both Protestants and Catholics to the cause of freedom. He converted to Protestantism in 1573, after years of leading a predominantly Protestant rebellion while personally remaining Catholic or religiously tolerant. His conversion was influenced by the rebellion's increasing alignment with Protestant ideals and the need to strengthen support among Protestant factions in the fight against Spanish rule. William's title, Orange, refers to the Principality of Orange, a region in present-day southern France, which was part of the inheritance he received. By 1576, the war had reached a turning point. Unpaid and desperate, Spanish troops mutinied and sacked Antwerp in an event known as the Spanish Fury. The brutality of this attack shocked Europe and galvanized the provinces, leading to the pacification of Ghent, a landmark agreement that united the provinces of the Low Countries, regardless of religious differences, to oppose Spanish rule and demand the withdrawal of Spanish troops. However, this unity was short-lived. Religious divisions deepened, with the southern provinces reconciling with Spain through the Union of Utrecht in 1579. In this agreement, the southern provinces of the Low Countries pledged loyalty to the Spanish crown, effectively splitting the region and deepening the divide between the Catholic south and the Protestant north in the ongoing Dutch revolt. Meanwhile, the northern provinces formed the Union of Utrecht, a declaration of independence that laid the groundwork for the Dutch Republic, emphasizing religious tolerance and collective defense. Tragedy struck the rebellion in 1584 when William of Orange was assassinated by Gerard Balthasar, a Catholic zealot. This devastating loss threatened to derail the Dutch cause, but the provinces persevered. William's son, Maurice of Nassau, rose to prominence, proving himself a brilliant military strategist. Under Maurice's leadership, the Dutch forces adopted innovative tactics, such as the use of water defenses and disciplined infantry formations. Maurice's reforms in military science influenced European warfare for centuries. He also fortified key cities to withstand Spanish sieges. These strategies turned the tide in favor of the Dutch. In 1609, Spain and the Dutch Republic agreed to a temporary ceasefire, known as the 12 Years' Truce. This period allowed the Dutch to focus on trade, science, and culture, marking the beginning of the Dutch Golden Age. However, the broader 30 Years' War, a devastating conflict between Protestant and Catholic powers across Europe, reignited tensions. The Dutch allied with Protestant England and Sweden, while Spain struggled to maintain its crumbling empire. The war drained Spanish resources and highlighted the decline of the Habsburg dominance. The naval Battle of Gibraltar, fought on April 25, 1607, was a significant naval confrontation between the Dutch and Spanish fleets, resulting in a Dutch victory that weakened Spanish control over maritime trade routes in the Mediterranean. The Battle of White Mountain, fought on November 8, 1620, was a decisive victory for the Catholic Habsburg forces over the Protestant Bohemian army, marking the beginning of the end of the Bohemian Revolt and the consolidation of Habsburg control over the region. By the 1620s, the Dutch, under Maurice and later his brother Frederick Henry, gained decisive victories. Key battles such as the Siege of Breda and the naval Battle of the Downs weakened Spain's grip on the region. The Siege of Breda in 1625 was a key battle in which the Spanish forces successfully captured the Dutch-held city of Breda after a lengthy and brutal siege. On the other hand, the Battle of the Downs in 1639 was a decisive naval engagement in which the English fleet defeated the Spanish fleet, weakening Spain's naval power and securing English dominance in the English Channel. Finally, in 1648, the Treaty of Münster officially ended the war, recognizing the independence of the Dutch Republic and acknowledged the Dutch's dominance in global trade. This treaty was part of the broader Peace of Westphalia, which ended the 30 Years' War in Europe and reshaped Europe's political and religious landscape. The 80 Years' War secured the independence of the Dutch Republic, paving the way for its rise as a global superpower. The Dutch Golden Age saw advancements in trade, science, and art, with figures like Rembrandt and Vermeer shaping cultural history. William of Orange's legacy endures in the Netherlands today, with orange adopted as the national color, symbolizing Dutch identity and pride, as seen in the uniforms of the national soccer team and other cultural traditions.